So you see what's the breaking taste on. I'm back over to it. Make sure you like and subscribe as you always watch full video.
OS, it's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. And for this video, NBA is back in the headlines, but it ain't young boy, it's NBA Lil Pap. And apparently he just got hit with 10 counts of attempted murder after missing everybody. Now you don't have to play with your code, y'all recap in shooting incident. DeAndre Fields, a 32
10 counts is crazy.
2-year-old rapper known as NBA Lil Pap and affiliated with NBA YoungBoy, faces serious charges after allegedly firing multiple shots into a home occupied by a family in St. Gabriel, Louisiana. The incident occurred on February 15th, 2026, stemming from a domestic altercation on Ravier Lane. Fields has been booked on 10 counts of attempted first-degree murder and additional domestic-related charges, highlighting the potential for everyday disputes to escalate into life-threatening situations. Authorities responded quickly, but no injuries were reported among the occupants, who were taking refuge inside the residence at the time of the shooting. This event adds to the ongoing scrutiny of violence within certain...
If nobody was hurt, it's not. This is the charge or what he got booked on, but when it's all said and done, it's gonna be probably attempted assault with a weapon.
segments of the hip-hop community. The St. Gabriel Police Department detailed that officers were dispatched to the scene following reports of an altercation involving weapons. Upon arrival, investigators learned that Fields had discharged several rounds into the home while the family sought safety indoors. Although Fields initially fled the area, he was subsequently arrested and transported to the Iberville Parish Jail. The decision to charge him with 10 counts of attempted murder reflects the number of people inside the home and the intent inferred from his actions. Such charges carry severe penalties, potentially leading to lengthy prison terms if convicted.
Oh yeah.
Now, this wouldn't be the
This show gonna do some time though, for sure. For sure.
the first time Lil Pap would make the news, especially in the hip-hop realm, as he previously spent 5 years in prison in connection with the murder of Baton Rouge legend G Money.
RPG money, bro.
The most prominent beef that YoungBoy was involved in during his rise to fame was with G Money. Real name Garrett Burton, he was a former friend and a star over at YoungBoy's former label, TBG. YoungBoy's other biggest opposition, Scotty Kane, would release the scathing YoungBoy diss track NBA Smoke just days after YoungBoy's cousin Boozilla got killed. And while YoungBoy ended up in jail on attempted murder charges for attempting to avenge Boozilla, G Money was linking up with YoungBoy's ops and building alliances to diss him. In January 20...
I think a lot of people seem to either forget, ignore, or just don't even know how much shit YoungBoy was really involved with before blowing up. And then also a lot of people pick sides when it came to him beefing with Vaughn and Dirk, and Vaughn claiming that he ain't like that, this and that, whatever. A lot of people know Vaughn was doing what he was doing and doing it himself. He was the one pulling it, versus the more so the accusations with YoungBoy is he was dropping them bags, right? And let's jump into this, because my boy Trap Lil Ross, he gonna do us right every time.
2017, G Money linked up with Pablo El Chapo, one of the people who'd been in the studio when Scotty Kane allegedly stuck up YoungBoy with a gun and made him cry. They would collaborate on a new YoungBoy diss titled WNBA Smoke, where they referred to him as WNBA YoungBoy and dissed him extensively. G Money would rap saying that he will send a blitz to take out YoungBoy and his team for dissing him, as well as warning YoungBoy that he will kill him for beefing with them. G Money...
Now, this is a 20-minute video, so we're going to skip closer to the part where G Money, unfortunately, meets his untimely demise.
You ain't do nothing about it. So how you think you could tell me something? How you think you can go against me? How you think you can do that? You won't survive. Come on.
Clearly, this was a very personal beef aimed at Youngboy and his crew. And at this point, both sides have made outright threats declaring their intentions to kill their opposition. Now, it's been speculated that Youngboy's manager Big Dump might have had something to do with potentially putting a price on G Money's head. And in September, G Money would seemingly be posting disses to Youngboy on social media, all while giving clues as to his own exact location. In one video, G Money, standing outside, would claim that Youngboy started rapping and became a killer after he got a record deal.
Say, Lil, you know you ain't living like that, man. You get a deal and you done turn to a killer. When you start doing all that, man, you know you ain't cut like that, man. You know TBG been your muscle, boy. And the same you talking about usually don't live in jail, wherever they at, man. That's the same you ought to move on the city, man. Yeah, you remember Will? Yeah, Will's out there. And you remember you ran out that store, man. You know what's happening with us, man. You hear me, real? And I'm living out shit, you hear me? Everything you got with a deal, I got without a deal, man. You hear me? You know, 30 plus on my with no deal. Yeah, for real. Driving that $100,000 coupe shit, man. Yeah, with no deal, boy. You better stop playing and stay in your place, son.
If you watch that clip carefully, you can see a window with white bars and black shutters beside it, with the building itself having red brickwork and a black security door. In this clip, G Money is standing in front of a recording studio at the 1900 block of Dallas Drive that TBG were known to record at. This studio was also featured prominently in the music video for G Money and Boulevard Quick's song Set Trippin'.
My boy do his motherfucking homework. He got the exact location.
Bro, you never drop location, bro. You know, filming in a place that you're known for just hanging out in all the fucking time, bro. And that's why the beef in general it should be stupid. Like these niggas beefing over nothing. Especially if, let's say, if G Money and NBA Youngboy beef started over him crushing his sister. Well, that nigga, your sister, that's your sister's body, bruh. If she wanted this man hit, that's on her. Especially if she's older than him. If she's older than him, bro, I don't got nothing to do, bruh.
And that's honestly, that's how they be finding the drop. If you from the city and you see the background of where somebody's at, you're gonna know right where they at. And that's why it's bold for people to go live dissing like that, or just posting and being in that same location.
Especially when you beefing with somebody who was a part of your crew. So he know exactly where you need to be at.
And this studio is the exact location where G Money would unfortunately lose his life. On the 10th of September 2017, G Money would be seen on Instagram at his usual recording studio working on music, seemingly recording a Youngboy diss song with lyrics where he says that your favorite rapper is a liar. At around 1:30 AM, G Money would be found shot in front of that very recording studio that he recently went live at. Fat Chapo, who was with him at the time of the shooting, said that G Money was caught off guard by a shooter as he walked out of the studio.
I was the first out the door. I'm the one called for help. G walked out that door by himself. I told him before he walked out the door, like, he walked out the door on his own. And they start shooting. When they start shooting, I really didn't know what was going on because I heard a boom, but...
Man, they was sitting out there waiting for him to come out. Who knows how many hours they were waiting. He in there recording, they probably smoking, drinking, whatever. He in there recording for hours. They sitting out there waiting. Mind you, G Money was like 6'5" or some shit. He's tall and he had a different kind of head, so it's like, you know when it's him. As soon as he comes out, they get to firing.
The music was playing, so it was kind of muffled. When as soon as the shooting stopped, I ran out the door. Nobody was I still never saw nobody. And I saw G laying right there on the ground. And once I seen him, all I could do is call 911. You know, try to get help.
Once police arrived, officers would be seen in the dark, taping off the scene and doing forensic work, and G Money would end up leaving the scene in a coroner's van, just like the one that he had showed in his music video Industry, where he said that he would put his ops on the news.
That's crazy.
Oh God.
He showed a corner.
Oh God. Then you showed a corner van and you end up getting Leaving in one, bro. That's sad, bro. That's sad, bro. RPG money, bro.
In a van, which ended up being the same one that he had in his music videos, saying he'll put his ops on the news. You reap what you sow. You live by the sword, you die by the sword, and a lot of what you speak can be spoke into existence. It just might not be the person you're talking about, it might be you.
G Money would end up leaving the scene in a coroner's van, just like the one that he had showed in his music video Industry, where he said that he would put his ops on the news. And the following morning, the news would indeed report on this tragic killing.
Baton Rouge police are looking into a deadly shooting that claimed the life of a local rapper. Police say someone shot and killed 22-year-old Garrett Burton on Dallas Street around 1:20 last night. Burton performed under the name G Money. Right now, police have not named any suspects or motive. If you can help police or have any tips, you can report them anonymously to Crime Stoppers.
One of G Money's closest friends and fellow TBG-affiliated rapper Fredo Bang, in a DJ Small Eyes interview, would recount breaking down in jail when he heard the news of G's death. The scene. But setting aside those rumors, once this went down, all eyes were on the NBA crew. But it would take years before the authorities were able to identify any of the people involved. DeAndre Fields, aka Lil Pap, or NBA Pap, actually the brother of NBA Ben 10, aka Ben Fields, who also got arrested for being in the car with Youngboy in that same incident after Boozilla's death, where Youngboy ended up getting the 10-year suspended sentence for. Now, Pap was eventually arrested on second-degree murder charges in connection with the murder of G Money.
And as far as I know, this is the only person who's ever been arrested for the murder of G Money. But how this played out was weird.
Ultimately being bailed around June 2019.
A lot of you are reacting tonight to the arrest of this man, DeAndre Fields. Baton Rouge police say they arrested him years after the shooting death of a local rapper, Garrett Burton. Back in 2017, Burton went by the name of G Money. He was found shot to death in the parking lot on Dallas Drive there. Police arrested DeAndre Fields for second-degree murder.
And initially, Pap would plead not guilty, but some interesting information would eventually be revealed to the police when they interviewed him after the shooting. He actually told police that he had left Baton Rouge with his mother and son, fleeing to nearby New Roads about 40 minutes away from Baton Rouge after G Money was murdered. As well as this, when asked about his whereabouts on the night of September the 10th, 2017, Lil Pap claimed that he drove to Hammond to get gas. When detectives later obtained his phone records, this claim was proven to be false, as his records revealed that he was actually in Baton Rouge on the night of G Money's death. But perhaps the most shocking piece of information that Lil Pap shared with the police, which I can imagine was a huge driving force behind his indictment, is the following. After police asked Pap who among his friends would shoot people for the NBA group, he replied, "To be honest, me." Now,
You're a fucking idiot.
He replied, what?
Fucking idiot, bruh.
Fields also told detectives he drove to Hammond to get gas.
He did, to be honest.
When police asked Fields who among his friends would shoot people for the NBA group, he replied, "To be honest, me." He also referred to problems in the streets. This man is straight up telling the police, I'm the most likely to blame some shit out here, as they're investigating him for murder.
Like an idiot, bro. Idiot. Like, yeah, like, who be the one smoking shit? Shit, me. But I didn't do this one, though.
He's been charged with murder.
What, nigga? I don't know.
You get booked on a body and they say, out of your gang, who's most likely to...
Again, that's more likely the nigga think he finna outsmart them by saying that shit. Again, you're not finna outsmart the police, bro. They know more information than you know. Or you might get them information that they don't know because they know how to ask certain questions. This way you don't talk, bro. Lawyer. Lawyer. That's the only word. That's it. And that mind, as soon as the handcuffs go on you, your mind goes completely blank. Your whole vocabulary goes out the window. Only words you know is lawyer. You don't know nothing. You don't know how to say nothing else. You don't know how to pronounce it. You don't know how to spell it. But you know lawyer.
To actually do this, me. Yeah, you can tell he ain't all the way there.
He don't look like he all the way there.
Among his friends would shoot people for the NBA group, he replied, "To be honest, me." Now, it's worth adding that in Youngboy's very first album, Life Before Fame, all the way back in 2015, Pap would end up pleading carry out what needs to be carried out in the streets on 2 occasions. Firstly, in the song NBA, and secondly, in the song I Know. Ultimately, Pap would end up pleading out on greatly reduced charges of accessory after the fact of murder and ultimately receiving a sentence of 5 years. Now, interestingly, Pap would go back and forth with the judge during his sentencing, saying that he is taking the deal, but he is 100% innocent. And interestingly, close friend of G Money, TBG rapper Fredo Bang, would later claim in numerous interviews that he did not believe Pap to be G's killer either.
Y'all started sending me that. He still sending it to her. Like, you seen it? You seen it? Yeah, I seen it. Oh, he's making arrests. Might be wrong. A man that do that. Brown.
Do you know the guy that's being charged? You said that you didn't think the guy that they're charging with the murder actually did it.
G Money's own mother would also post on social media saying they still haven't found the shooter of her son and they're still looking. Whether or not you believe NBA Pap when he says that he had nothing to do with the incident, what is clear is that the NBA crew, and Youngboy specifically, would have the most to gain from G Money being no longer and going.
So that's interesting. G Money's own mother, as well as his best friend Fredo Bang, both are pretty much saying that he wasn't the actual killer. And he only ended up getting 5 years, which shows there was obviously
lack of evidence.
A lack of something, a lack of evidence, a lack of proof that they could fully determine. I mean, there was something, but I don't think he was the one.
They probably didn't have no real nothing besides a confession. And that was off the confession came off of a deal. It wasn't like he was in the interrogation room and they broke him and then he confessed. No, that's when you get no deal. I mean, you still might possibly get a deal, depending on what more you might know, depending on what and did and all that shit. But if you're in the interrogation room and they break you and you confess, that's one thing. Versus, hey, I confess for a deal. That's how motherfuckers be getting off on all right. Especially 5 years for a body. A body probably be 25 to life. Even if you don't do life without parole. Like, but it's still probably 25. He got 5? Yeah, that must have been no pistol, no evidence. We just want to convict somebody, bro, and I'm going to just give you me. That was it.
That actually squeezed it, right? Because how were you walking with only 5 years for a murder? But in this new situation, he's booked on 10 counts of attempted murder from a domestic dispute in which he decided to fire into a home and apparently missed 10 people, which is insane to think about. You put 10 people in the crib. I don't know how big the cribs are where he's from. I'm guessing not that fucking big, right? He ain't in the mansion. He ain't one of them NBA boys that's out at fucking whatever that mountain is, Gravedigger Mountain. He ain't one of them. He's still in the hood. He's fucked up, right?
And that, like, bro, you did fucking idiot. You did 5 years and you still in the hood, bro.
You fire off into a house multiple times, you don't hit nobody, thank God, but now you're booked with 10 counts of attempted murder as well as domestic charges. Crash the fuck out. He's already done 5 years in prison for the connection to G Money's death. I believe he did some Fed time on a weapons case. And this sounds like he's most likely gonna go back. But hey, let me know y'all's thoughts and comments in the comment section. Do y'all think he was more involved than we know of? Do you think that G Money's mom and Fredo Bang were just keeping it gangster, keeping it?
Could have been that. Could have been something like that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Cause it could be that, like, yeah, it wasn't him, so he can get out and then you can unalive him. But the nigga been out and he wasn't unalive, so therefore it wasn't that. I don't know, man. Condolences to people that was watching this video, bro.